Guys, we had a small bit of a break, but I guess if you're watching the VODs, then it's all cool. It's all gravy, because you didn't miss a beat. I'm Rifkin, casting tonight with Zombie Grub. It's been a pretty nice cast so far. We've had some awesome games, and big shoutouts to all the players who have played so far, but unfortunately, a majority of them have been eliminated at this point. We're closing in on that second qualifier. Big shoutouts to Polt, who just qualified, locked in to be one of 2 players today. Without further ado, they're spawning in the lower left corner of the map in this semifinals match. To see who goes on to fight QXC, it is the Pink Terran from Root for Root Gaming, Illusion.
And his opponent in the upper right, as the orange Protoss, it is EG's Huck.
With his feelings about Avilo. And I guess that DC LAN you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, they played this semifinal, and then they, had to go back to the losers bracket. Yeah. So he technically already did beat him once.
Playing against Avilo, I mean, that can be taxing.
Actually, Avilo was not playing what he usually does. I think Illusion actually trying to metagame him a lot because he's doing kind of weird builds, and Illusion was actually just like Marine tank, early pushes with mech, and it was like, what are you doing? Yeah, that's not Avilo. Anyways.
A small little bit of a nod here while we get this game underway to, I'm going to say this name so wrong, Balkir Armored Preets? I'm sorry, I'm saying your name wrong, but he's given us a lot of nice tweets here on Twitter. I want to thank him very much for that. You guys today have been awesome. Normally when you get a crowd this size, Twitch chat is just full of bans because people are being insane. But this has been one of the most fun casts we've had in a long time. You guys have been definitely a huge part of that. And I just, my only regret is that we can't, like, stream chat while we're streaming the games.
Crank has, I don't know if you've seen Crank's overlay, but he put the stream chat in his overlay. That was kind of cute. Yeah,
I really like that, but for a tournament broadcast, there's going to be so much stuff in there you can't have it. That would be a bad idea, I think. But, okay, Huck. We're kind of revisiting this wonderful player. We got to see him a little bit earlier today. In fact, he was the first match we cast, but it was PvZ, not PvT. We'll see how Illusion fares. Illusion's been on a bit of a tear through these brackets, to say the least.
Yep. I think it's the first PvT we've casted today, which is pretty cool. And, I don't know, both these guys are really finding their element again, Like, they were really popular. They have, actually multiple bouts of popularity and, being really, really good. And for the most part, the last few months, they've been on the low side, but they're all coming back.
Well, actually, I didn't, I said that Illusion was on a good path. I kind of, remember the last 2 people he fought against, but guys, both of these players had to knock out really, really good players to get here. Now, there's a cute engineering bay blocking him down here out of Illusion. This, of course, buys him all the time in the world and is worth that SCV dying in order to delay this sort of poke out of Huck. But Huck had to take out Suppy, State, and Shu, all in the losers bracket to get up here. Illusion had to go through Patreus, Violet, Major, and Semper. Oh, sorry, not Semper. I take that back. Illusion went through Zerg Zing Zing instead of Major. Sorry, I read the wrong part of the bracket there. But still, Zerg Zing Zing, Violet, and Patreus. That's 3 Zergs. Hopefully he's got his Protoss mindset, enabled.
Illusion's Reaper did not scout the fact that Nexus actually went down, although you can assume. He also got the command center on the high ground. A little afraid, since in fact Huck did get that Zealots, that there was a push incoming, and oftentimes even if you have the bunker in time and the command center on the low ground, they just run past it anyways, so just playing a little bit safer. Getting up to 3 more racks. One of the more popular builds has been the 2 racks, and then Fag, then Starport, then other racks. But getting a lot of Marines a lot sooner. It's going to be very effective against Oracles, because you can have enough Marines to actually put in both bases. But as we know, Huck is not going for that, actually doing for something very standard, going for Robo.
And this aggressive poke here with 3 Stalkers, it's not going to be the easiest thing to hold off, especially with the Mothership Core coupled with this. Time Warp does go down. That's going to allow Huck to catch a couple more of these Marines, and Illusion is going to have to pull that command center back. There's no way he lands this.
Yeah. I was going to say that this is normal, but in fact, that's not a Robo and a Forge. That is 2 other gateways for Huck. It's a different timed build. It's not like an all-in or something, but this attack is a little scary for Illusion. He does have the Marauder out. That is a little scary. Oh, the force field. He's gonna force field.
Yeah, Illusion can't push down the ramp or he's gonna lose a lot.
Oh, he missed it.
The force field is off, or else Illusion could have just lost a good chunk of his army. We'll still lose quite a few units here. Really dead set on trying to take this natural base. Marauder's going to go down here now too. Mothership Core may fall. It's getting low, but not quite dead. A couple SCVs going to be pulled through this time warp, but Huck just needs to warp in a couple units, or hell, walk away. Either way, he's done quite a bit of damage here to Illusion.
I like what Huck did. Those 2 earlier gateways, usually it's kind of like a 3-gate pressure, you know, which you don't see often in Heart of the Swarm, but it can be effective, as we see here. Going straight for that Marauder, you take that down, and that's a lot of the power of the Terran army out, but another Marauder is going to join up here. Yeah,
and there's no concussive shell smash for this either. It's just Stim on the way, and he's lost the majority of the units that could benefit from Stim. 4 Marines giving it at a time. He'll eventually start pushing this back, but again, another force field from Huck is going to be ready in a moment's time. I don't know how this sentry is still alive, but it is.
Let's not forget that Huck has been stopping pro production for this entire time, so it's not like he's dealing damage and getting ahead, you know, even further behind, but he is doing a lot of damage, and it's well worth stopping that pro production. This is super. I don't want to say it's super weird. It's really unfortunate for Illusion, that's for sure. But it's literally just off the back of 3 gateways. It's something that, you know, rolled because Illusion didn't get that bunker.
Still not quite able to push down this ramp. I know he wants to desperately. He needs to take this natural base, and he knows it too. But Stimpaks finish up in about 12 seconds, so fingers are crossed that he knows to wait for it. But of course, when you're in game, you don't have this awesome timer ticking it down. Although that would be pretty sick. Alright, Stim's done. Has a little more pushing capabilities, but it's this force field. It's this one sentry that's so scary. So Stim's past it, doesn't have to worry about splitting his army, and immediately takes out those sentries as well as the stalkers. And rather than chasing across the map, well, one Marauder is a little bit bold or brave or stupid, depending on your point of view, but will secure his natural base. It sucks how long this took, but Huck has gained a rather large worker lead behind this. I mean, yes, a Terran player has mules and whatever, but he's got Immortal out. He's got a pretty nice lead of 42 to 28. I mean, Huck's economy is going to be just solid after this. And we even look at the resources lost. Huck didn't even lose that much in the end.
Yeah. Well, while Huck was stopping his pro production, I believe Illusion was stopping his, so it was just damage, you know.
I can confirm that Illusion was not producing probes while that was going on.
Yeah, okay, funny. Medevacs are going to be on the way, though. They're actually pretty well timed. A lot of times in, you know, hard situations like that, you forget the factory. Like, it's 30 seconds late, and then the starport's 30 seconds later, or even further, and you just suddenly the medevac timing, which is pretty much the thing that you want to return the damage, return the favor, is not there. But not for Illusion. He's pretty on point, and Huck will have to, you know, be a little careful. He's mostly, I mean, he's nothing but. Oh, never mind. He's gateway units, but there are 2 immortals in there. They're just like, they're not good for splitting. You know, they pack a punch, but if you split them off by 1, they're not going to take up a dropship.
Yeah, and what's really, well, that's a big thing too, with the medevacs finally coming out. Illusion may be able to circumvent those force fields entirely. Guardian Shield will be really nice to have, as well as it reduces the damage by these Marines by quite a significant amount. But Huck has elected to go for Blink. He's going for the weapon upgrade, so probably be aiming for that Colossus, so that's a bit of a sigh of relief for Illusion, because I think a lot of Terran players would prefer to play against Colossus more so than Templar. But we'll see if that ends up being the case. Nice push here to the natural. Does force the overcharge, but looks like Illusion not going to back up from this. Forcing the fight to come out. Will try and pick up. Doesn't pick up. A bit of miscontrol there. Cost him a couple units, and including that medevac. Wow. Now, luckily, that was the one that wasn't full of units, but yikes.
That was unfortunate. Oh, another observer goes down. That's actually 2 observers that Illusion has picked off. But, I don't know if I really liked just going in there. You can get the surprise off, and like they don't get the cannon. Their mothership core goes down, and they don't get the force fields off. But I feel like forcing out the first cannon, then dropping and forcing out that cannon might have been better. Illusion did choose that, and unfortunately lost a good chunk of his army. The cannon's still up and running. There's a few more seconds left on it.
You could, you know, the thing too is like he could have just lifted off, like after forcing the overcharge, right? Like lift it up and try to go somewhere else. But now that Huck's got Blink, well, in a second's time.
Oh, whoa, SCV train pool. Oh, those came out from nowhere, according to our vision, anyways. I'm not sure this is gonna do a lot.
No, typically you pull a lot of SCVs to deal with the fact that your opponent has no splash damage, but if he knocks down the Nexus, this will be worthwhile, but it looks like he's not going to knock down the Nexus, and these Blink Stalkers can give chase in a big way. There's only a couple Marauders here. Not that scary for the Immortals on top of this. That Blink on the low ground will focus down the medevacs with no escape here. Well, Illusion's going to lose everything. Will this have been worth it in the end, though? I mean, pulling the SCVs like that did cost him quite a bit.
I think Huck's is going to push and win. Illusion's in desperate trouble right now. In fact, Huck's even getting a third while pushing.
No bunkers.
Like, why not?
No bunkers either.
Even with bunkers. Oh man, Huck's not pushing to get into the game.
I think he's going to play safe though, because I mean for Huck, You know, people joke about the EG curse and whatever, fine, but the last thing you would do is be this far ahead and then throw the game away. But
Yeah.
alternatively, the longer he waits, the better chance Illusion has to hold on to a counterattack.
It's going to take quite a lot of time to, you know, fill that gap now made from that. Well, actually, the entire game. It's really been the entire game. Wow. BM. It's been the entire game that Huck has controlled. And it's just, oh, actually, another SCV. I thought he was just going to transfer those entirely. But no, does pull every
Oh
single
my
last
God.
SCV. There is still no splash, so that's where
Well, no,
SCVs do, like...
There's
Oh, there's Colossus on the way. Yeah, there's one Colossus. That's right. Doesn't have range, so maybe the Marauders can target it down, but
It's +2 weapons, so I mean, the reality is there's going to be a lot of splash damage that goes out. Zealots don't have charge, but of course the Blink Stalkers and the Immortals are going to be hitting like a max truck. I mean, coming here in the front lines, the SCVs were not initially here. The force fields are a little too good. Oh my god, look at those SCVs get stuck. This is game number 1, 100% going in the favor of Huck.
yep, that's it. He's gonna have SCVs left over and no army, pretty much. The SCVs do go down and soon to follow the army. Mule drop from Illusion, acknowledges the GG.
Alright, well guys, what's really important to notice here is like, SCV pulls are good, TVP. They're fantastic when there's no splash damage. The problem was that first one was too weak and the second one was too late. So, it's not like Illusion was going for like really stupid YOLO moves. The timings just weren't where he needed them to be.